Hello, my name is Jack Blade and welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. This is a tips and tricks video in Satisfactory talking about sushi belt sorters and overflow specifically and how to deal with it. And this was done in live stream as a test. XBK in chat asked me some questions and I decided to do the tests live on stream to figure out exactly how it worked to help him. I realized it was a good learning moment for everyone involved and cut it out of the stream and made it into a video. So enjoy. And if you enjoyed a lot, make sure to subscribe, maybe even support on Patreon or YouTube. You can do that from $1 a month. And we'll see you guys at the end, summing everything up again. Now we gotta welcome XBK to Floor Crew as well. Become a YouTube member. Whoop whoop. Awesome, having more people. Yeah, I could definitely do that. Let's see, you have asked, need some help with a sushi line and smart splitters. I have mine set to send the item to the right, any undefined further on, and overflow to the left into our reverse sushi line towards the sink. The problem is that as soon as some container fills up, it plugs up the whole sushi line instead of dumping the excess item at that stage of the line. It stops and begins overflowing anything from previous stages of the line. For example, if turbo motors gets caught in that stoppage, they get dumped as well. So should I change any undefined lines to overflow as well? That way, as I understand it, anything undefined gets pushed forward anyway, and any excess that doesn't get put into containers gets dumped at the last stage of the line. Yes, exactly. I think I can probably... This one I should be able to load without much problem. So I can actually give you like at least a little bit of a visual examples. Hello, let's build. All the members showing up. If we make we mock up a sushi belt, I think. So the best way that I know to deal with like sushi belts and smart splitters, or like whatever kind of splitter you're using, if it's smart or programmable, doesn't really matter, is to do, just have this set up, where you go, so let's say that we grab 4 items here. We grab concrete, and then any undefined, like this. This is like, for any time using smart splitters, like this is just a recommendation from my end. This is like basically like a quality of life thing rather than anything else. Never use the third. Unless you absolutely have to. Never use the third. Only use 2. So like that's just my experience. So if we just change this, these can be alien DNA capsules. These can be, let's say, power shards and adaptive control units. This last bit here, I would say, like, because it is any undefined, there, like, something that you might need to do is, if concrete has to go right, is that you might need to use the third. Conveyor merger. So you might need to do this to prevent. Here, and then having an awesome sink. Like so. This might need to be your setup, because it's already stuck in the splitter. Yes, but if this last bit here, as any undefined, has a none, an overflow, then you get nothing stuck in the third. which would mean that nothing could stop. It would have to go either right or left. Right? Or am I thinking wrong? Let's test this. Let's test it. It was concrete here. Adaptive control units, and we want 24. Like so. So now, if we grab and we have, let's say that these are the production lines. So we make 4 of these. Now let's make mergers. We do this. I'll do this, I think. Like so. And then we put concrete in here. Use slower belts to make it easier to see it actually working. That is very true. Good call, good call, good call. So let's do it like this, and then use Mark II belts here. Let's use Mark III. And then Mark Is. There. And then adaptive control units. Here we go. Oh yeah, that one needs to be powered. There we go. Overflow. Oh shit. I just realized. I can't sync power shards. So I have to switch these out. They can't be power shards. There's nowhere else where we have power shards right now. That's my bad. Faster belt here. So just to double check now. Concrete. Case industrial beams. Boom. And then we go for the... Now the test can start. Where do you guys come from? Are you just spawning somewhere? What happens if we speed up the belts? Can that break it? What? What? I don't understand. There is no constructor here. I just arrived, but I like your system. Oh yeah. Hello Leo. Welcome to chat. Yeah, we're just testing like something here for XPK. He's like, I think he made this system. He just like had some trouble getting it to work. You always have to close and open the dismantle to have an accurate merger inventory. Oh, okay. I tend to just be able to like scan over. As you can see, the items in it is changing back and forth. But as far as I can see, this is sorting itself properly. So if I were to do this now, and we're like filling it up with the initial production, it should stop overflowing and just start sorting itself. Let's see if it should work fine if I'm wrong. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. Like, I think XPK, if you've done anything wrong, it's the last bit here. If you've set this to also be send anything forwards, then you might have problems. Because then, like you say, something is gonna buffer here and block stuff. Because the item that goes to the right needs to be able to overflow to the left. The few times that I see like a couple of concrete go to the left is because this belt isn't fast enough. So that's a solution. If you don't want that to happen and it keeps happening, then literally just like upgrade to the next belt tier, so you have an easier time just moving things into your containers. Sometimes having longer belts also help. I don't know if he's like on testing it right now, but yeah. Either way, it looks like the video that I've rendered, like I've literally rendered a video 3 times. I've just tested, and I'm an idiot. My overflow sushi belt is 1 Mark IV, while input is double Mark IV. So once something starts overflowing, it just plugs the overflow line, and that cascades backwards. Yeah, you're gonna like note. I don't want to spoil too much for the video that comes out on Tuesday, but essentially, belt speeds are a lot more important than just being able to use bigger miners and overclocking your miners more. They have a lot more control over how well your factory can work and what it can do to your machines. So belt speeds are super, super important. So having like staggered belt speeds and stuff like that, always, like if you have access to Mark Vs, use Mark Vs for your main line, and then as you split off, if you get any problems, go down in speed instead of keeping the same, especially when you're merging things. No Mark V yet, yeah, but Mark IVs. Like if you have Mark IVs, you use Mark IVs, right? But I'm using Mark IIIs to send in, and then it's Mark IIs over here, right? Because the Mark II is 120. So even if I were to merge everything, like these are completely full, everything is going in here, the maximum amount that can merge onto this belt total for this entire sushi line is 480, which is the Mark IV belt, which means that your overflow can't get backed up. So the limit for one sushi belt before you need to start like taking this and like mirroring it and making a second sushi line. So like you have literally a second setup that looks exactly like this, just mirrored on the other side or something. Or you build vertically and make a second layer of it. It doesn't really matter how you do it, as long as you are happy with it. But if you have this, you basically have the overflow line as your limit, because your overflow needs to flow. If that gets backed up, you're screwed. So yeah, that is essentially it. Oh, and apparently having double overflow output means they just become regular splitter ports. Yes. That's why most of the time I recommend just doing this. Like if you have a sushi belt, this works. Other people basically just have. Yeah, you need to have an overflow if you're using any undefined and you don't want backing up. If you want it to flow like constantly have flow, this is the setup. And like I said, this needs to be your fastest belt because that is your limit for what you can do in one overflow. For example, if I double this, if I wanted 8 on one sushi belt line here, if I wanted 8 items, I would need to use, I would need to go down and use Mark 1 belts over here. Because the limit is what this can take. It's Black Wolf, welcome to chat. Welcome to the stream. I hopped in for a couple seconds and already learned something so valuable. I'm happy you learn. This is what happens. I just love when people are asking questions. But yeah, you're gonna learn a really good... for really small sushis, like my starter production storage, it is enough to just send all overflow straight through and have the shredder at the end. Yes, the problem is with this any undefined, because you want to be able to overflow this final item, and if it gets like blocked, it will block here because it won't go where you have any undefined. So you need to have overflow. So while you can send it straight on, the last one can't be any undefined. Like if I go, there's a reason why I use the faster belt, the fastest belt I can into a storage box overflow, into a machine or out of storage, depends on X or Y reason. Yeah, like if I do this, and this becomes full, like if I grab more of these, oh, server manager, it doesn't really matter, it's not online. And we want the adaptive control unit. If I give myself another 24 stacks of this, and I back this up, then what's gonna happen is it's not gonna flow. It's just gonna stop. And once it's backed up, it's gonna back up here, and it's gonna overflow over here, right? But if I don't have this, if I just try to run it straight on, if this line doesn't exist, then you're screwed. You see? So the last line here, if I had this be overflow instead, then it would work. Because then I could do here, fastest belt I have. Now it works, no problem. But if I do with any undefined, you're up shit's creek. I had this problem trying to make a sushi belt for alien protein. Yeah, my general advice is don't use sushi belts. That's my general advice. Because if something can go wrong in a factory, this is where. Like, this little... okay, it's removing my hand. Man. This here. See, can I go? Can I go? Can I go? No, camera. That little, like, screwball there, that's what's gonna mess your factory up. Every single time. It's the conveyor belt version of trying to get your fluids to work. When I make alien protein, I do, like I have that sorter, like with smart splitters. Only time I ever tried to use it was for alien protein, because I just sync the DNA. Yeah. Let's see if I have that here. Yeah, this, I made a blueprint, like a soul. Let's see, which direction did this go? Yeah, there. So, this one I tested extensively to make sure that it worked before I used it for anything. And I don't overflow anything here before this sushi belt. So, if it backs up, it's a good thing. It means I have killed, so many things, because, like, there's so much storage here. Alright, so we are back. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope that you will have a great time using that in your factories. And if you really liked it, make sure to subscribe, like, comment, do all the things. If you have specific use cases where you think sushi belts are better served or well served, or if you have thoughts and opinions and extra tips on the video that can add even more value, please put that in the comments. And if you want to hang out with everyone, come join the streams. And other than that, just have a great one. Bye!